Welcome back to Respoiled. Today, I have another captivating story to share with you. But before we dive in, if you're new here, I invite you to subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications, so you'll never miss out on all of my latest uploads. Now let's get started. It's Christmas Eve in Angel Falls, and David is pulled away from his family by his boss Henry for business. Henry, an ambitious businessman, aims to construct a luxurious shopping mall, disregarding historical landmarks. He requires only one last property to commence, Roger's house. David and Henry visit Roger to persuade him to sell, but Roger declines, as the house holds sentimental value passed down through generations, intended for his granddaughter Kara. Later, after everyone departs, Roger hears a knock and discovers a snowman at the door. Suddenly, the angel, a masked assailant, bursts through the snow and attacks Roger with a knife, leading to his demise. Meanwhile, Kara picks up Winnie, David's daughter, to attend the party together. After meeting more friends, Kara takes numerous pictures and waves at Bernie, who sits alone. However, her friends reprimand her for engaging with the social outcast. Kara's brother Jimmy also joins the party and steps outside to kiss his boyfriend near the woods. They halt upon hearing a noise among the trees and decide to depart, unaware it was caused by the angel. Similarly, Kara seeks a quiet moment to kiss her boyfriend, but he suddenly vomits blood into her mouth. Stepping back, she discovers he has been stabbed by the angel with a giant candy cane. In panic, Kara flees, but the angel pursues her, attempting to stab her. She attempts to defend herself, but the knife injures her arm, causing the angel to vanish as she collapses on the bridge. However, he quickly strikes again, stabbing from beneath the bridge. Kara resumes running and hurries to the house, only to find the door shut from within. Party attendees can only watch through the door window as the angel emerges behind her, repeatedly stabbing her. The teenagers scream and scatter in panic, but Winnie rushes out to intervene. Unfortunately, it's too late. Kara is already dead, and the angel turns his attention to Winnie. As her camera drops and shatters, Winnie strikes the angel's face before fleeing into the woods. She attempts to conceal herself behind a tree, but the angel swiftly locates her, poised to strike. Suddenly, Jimmy intervenes, tackling the assailant. A scuffle breaks out, during which the angel pushes Jimmy aside. Seizing the opportunity, the siblings flee. Despite their efforts, the angel catches up to Jimmy, prompting Winnie to grab the jumper cables from the Christmas lights and electrocute the angel, ending his life. Removing the mask, Winnie is shocked to discover the angel's true identity as Henry. A year later, Jimmy is contentedly working alongside David, while Winnie continues to mourn Kara's loss and grapple with the repercussions of her actions. Adding to her distress, she's received a rejection letter from her preferred university. While everyone in town, including her family, seems to have moved on, Winnie finds the festive atmosphere grating. While out on the street, she encounters Buck, Henry's brother, who hints at seeking revenge before departing. During the gift exchange, Winnie is dismayed to receive a dreadful tracksuit while Jimmy receives a truck. Overwhelmed, she confronts her family, hurt by their apparent disregard for the events of the previous Christmas, only to be dismissed and told to move on. Receiving messages from her boyfriend Robbie, Winnie is invited to a Christmas party. She rushes there and greets Bernie before seeking out Robbie, only to catch him cheating with Darla. Darla exposes their year-long affair, leaving Winnie enraged as she storms out of the party. Finding herself at a bridge, Winnie is astonished to witness the aurora borealis in the sky. Overwhelmed by her emotions, she wishes she had never been born, causing the aurora to vanish and the town lights to flicker out. Perplexed, she discovers a dying person nearby, just killed by the angel. Fleeing, she shatters a truck window to use its radio, only to encounter Buck, now the sheriff, who fails to recognize her. Inquiring about the former sheriff, she learns he was slain a year prior, suggesting the angel's ongoing spree. Feeling more bewildered, Winnie contemplates exposing the angel's identity, but Henry, now the mayor, arrives to offer support. Treated like a stranger by Henry, she remains silent and flees. Upon reaching her home, she finds herself unrecognized, compounded by the devastating news of Jimmy's demise at the hands of the angel during the previous Christmas party. Realizing her absence altered the course of events, Winnie becomes distraught and flees through the city, observing a grim atmosphere with a curfew in place and pervasive graffiti. Under Henry's mayoralty, the city is discontented, exacerbated by his construction of the shopping mall. Arriving at the usual Christmas party, she finds a somber scene, with attendees indulging in illegal substances and engaging in altercations. Alienated and unrecognized, she witnesses Robbie and Darla in a long-standing relationship, a reality she never experienced with Robbie. She discovers a yearbook without her photo, solidifying her absence. Nearby, Two teenagers relax with pipes, admiring the Christmas lights. When the girl briefly steps indoors, the angel seizes the opportunity, brandishing an axe and pursuing the boy. He tries to impede the angel by pushing objects in his path, but eventually finds himself trapped by a gate, enduring a blow from the axe. Despite being injured, he hurls a plant at the assailant before fleeing. Unable to re-enter the locked party due to the loud music, he succumbs to the angel, who ends his life amid a struggle, leaving bloodstains in his wake. Shortly after, the girl emerges once more and is startled by the discovery of a severed head in the snow. Meanwhile, Winnie observes on television that additional murders have occurred. She reproaches everyone for reveling amidst such dire circumstances before departing with Bernie. Upon reaching Bernie's residence, Winnie notices her companion has been investigating the murders. She confides in Bernie about her wish and reveals the identity of the angel as Henry. Bernie points out that the victims were all offspring of influential families, whose demise led to the collapse of their businesses, subsequently benefiting Henry. However, Bernie hesitates to believe Winnie's fantastical account and entertains suspicions about her involvement, even preparing to defend herself. Suddenly, the angel shatters through the window, prompting the girls to flee, only to encounter him blocking the door. He seizes Winnie, but she bites his arm and shoves him into the table before the girls break free. Upon reaching downtown, Bernie expresses belief in Winnie's story, and they both notice the unusual aurora in the sky. Bernie explains that seeing it from this location shouldn't be possible, eliminating the possibility of coincidence. Subsequently, they take refuge in the local movie theater, using Bernie's access as an employee. Enjoying themselves, they watch several films and eventually fall asleep, with Winnie resting her head on Bernie's shoulder. In the morning, Bernie discovers a room filled with documents detailing the legend associated with the aurora, confirming their suspicions about why Winnie was brought to this place. However, they also discover it's fading, indicating Winnie must return before it disappears, or she'll be stranded there indefinitely. The girls conclude that Winnie must vanquish the angel once more, necessitating the assistance of someone close to him. They head back to Winnie's house, but David refuses to meet with her. Using a family secret, Winnie convinces her Aunt Gail of the truth, gaining entry into the house. Inside, she finds David visibly despondent, as if he's lost his spirit since Jimmy's passing. Pretending to be a friend of Jimmy's, Winnie shares anecdotes, eventually coaxing a smile from David. However, when she accuses Henry of the deed, David becomes enraged as Henry is his closest friend, leading him to eject Winnie from the premises. Exiting, Winnie is appalled to witness her mother's substance abuse and open infidelity with multiple men in the family home. Suddenly, the angel reappears, dispatching both her mother and her paramour in the kitchen. Hastily, the girls and Gail flee, but as they reach the stairs, the angel slashes Bernie's arm. Acting swiftly, Winnie seizes a picture from the wall, striking the angel with it, causing him to tumble downstairs, unconscious. Gail and Bernie cautiously maneuver around him to reach the exit. However, when it's Winnie's turn, she pauses to retrieve the knife. Rather than immediately dispatching the angel, she opts to unveil his identity first, only to be stunned to find David beneath the mask. As he begins to stir, the trio flees. Later, at the theater, Winnie shares her suspicion that David seemed altered. Gail reveals he's been in this state for a year, prompting the realization that his vulnerability has allowed Henry to manipulate him into carrying out his sinister deeds. With no alternative, Winnie resolves to confront her father, prompting the formulation of a strategy. Shortly after, the theater's marquee displays a message directed at David, and 3 dolls are placed on the seats as lures. Upon someone's entrance, Gail halts them using the fire extinguisher, while Winnie nearly wields her bat, only to discover it's Robbie and Darla. As they're preoccupied, the angel fatally strikes Gail, plunging the theater into darkness. Winnie resorts to using her old camera to illuminate the scene with its flash, witnessing the angel's assault on Darla before targeting Robbie. Bernie reaches the power switches, restoring light, enabling Winnie to seize a broom and strike the angel with it. Winnie then takes refuge on the stairs, and when the angel pounces on her, she impales him with the broken broom handle. After confirming Dave's demise beneath the mask, the girls return to the bridge. Following a heartfelt farewell to Bernie, Winnie expresses her desire to be reborn. However, nothing changes, prompting her to yell at the aurora, which responds with more menacing hues. Realizing Henry still poses a threat as mayor, Winnie and Bernie conclude he must be eliminated. They head to the main park, where Henry hosts a Christmas event. The townsfolk, seemingly under his spell, watch him with vacant gazes. Henry announces Buck's departure, labeling him as naughty, and publicly executes him. Buck, dressed as the angel, is hung as a decoration. Despite Winnie's efforts to rouse them, the townspeople remain oblivious. Henry's bodyguards escort the girls to the stage, where he confesses to Jimmy's murder, manipulating David, and causing Bernie's parental loss. Enraged, the girls start pummeling Henry, jolting the townsfolk awake. As Winnie kicks Henry off the stage, the crowd swarms him, while Henry's enraged girlfriend attempts to assault Winnie. Swiftly defending herself, Winnie disarms the girlfriend, and Bernie scares off the bodyguards with the knife. In that instant, Henry seizes command of the crowd and heads back to the stage, attempting to strangle Winnie. Yet, Bernie intervenes, stabbing and finally killing him. With the townsfolk regaining their senses, the aurora intensifies, and Winnie comprehends her mission to aid Bernie in seeking retribution. The girls then share a kiss. Upon reopening her eyes, Winnie finds herself back in her own world, adorned in the dreadful tracksuit. Rushing to her family, David unveils an additional gift for her, a shiny new camera. Winnie embraces everyone, sharing that she didn't get into the university, but reassures them she's content where she is. Later, she encounters Robbie and Darla, encouraging them to be together. Finally reaching Bernie's house, they rejoice in their shared memories of the alternate reality, preparing to celebrate Christmas together as a couple. Don't forget to like, subscribe and enable notifications for more content like this. Thank you for watching.